Alright, I went ahead and pulled the airbox and stuff out of the way on the front of this throttle body here so I could get to the fill plug. It says ATF right there. It's a 17 millimeter socket, so supposedly this guy can be kind of difficult, but if it's been serviced it shouldn't be too bad. Mine has, so come on now. So he came right off, no problem. I'm just opening that up so that he feels a little better. Alright, here's a drain plug on it. It takes a normal ratchet, so it's at 3/8. So basically you just kick it this way. It should come loose. I'm gonna get my pan and stuff under there first, but I think they switched sides on this for some reason in like 07, so maybe on the other side. Alright, so I know the car guys like to see this. This is at 125K. Not real sure what other service has been done to this since I got it at 100K, but you can see some pretty good sludge on that magnetic plug. I'm gonna get it all cleaned off and let it finish draining out, and we'll go from there. Alright, I have finally gotten the elusive transmission filter out. If you look at this is the cover. It's got an O-ring on it. Otherwise, these three 10 millimeter bolts go in. I believe it's oriented about like this. And in the car right above it here is the ABS module. So you can't really move any of that out of the way, but I was able to get the entire thing done with just a 10 millimeter combination wrench and a 17 millimeter combination wrench for this piece. So in between this is a tube with basically a fluid return here. It goes through into this bolt. It's hollow. It goes in here. There's a washer on this bolt. You can see it in the diagram, but basically I got those out. Once I cracked them loose with the wrench, I was able to kind of twist around my arms and get them in there and get it out. It's pretty dirty. It's not that bad. I was kind of hoping that, well, I wasn't really hoping it was horrible, but I was hoping that, you know, there was a major set of goop in there that was clogging up and maybe restricting flow and causing my issues. But either way, I'll feel good to have that changed. That's 125,000 miles. Who knows? Probably has never been changed. So, got the brand new one ready to go in, which is, if you're interested, Duralast TF557. Looks like this seal here I'll need to reuse, but it's in good shape. So otherwise I'm going to start throwing this thing back together, and I'll show you where all this came out. So here's your ABS module, batteries here. So I took out the air box and all that stuff that goes here typically. It's pretty easy to get out. Transmission fill hole is right there, if you can see that, right down in there. And so this housing here is the housing for the filter, so you actually have to get up underneath there. You can see maybe a mass of fluid down there. I didn't lose too much, but then again I already drained the transmission, so plan on doing a flush when you do this, I imagine. You can't really take this stuff off. These are all hard lined in, so I doubt you'll be moving that. So it's doable. 10 millimeter combination wrench, like that. 17 millimeter on the end. You can actually get that one from the bottom if you remove the trim piece on this other side. So anyway, that's about it. Alright, a few tips after having gotten the filter back in. These three bolts, tighten them all as much by hand as you can, because I got these two kind of tight and this one was only just barely in, like just started, and it made it really hard. I had to wrench it like an eighth of a turn each time until it got all the way in, and then it like clicked and everything fell into place, and then I could finger tighten it a few more times, and so I just did that badly. So just try to go all the way around. They're a pain to get to. And then just be real careful about 26 here, because I didn't knock it out until I was putting everything back together, and luckily I heard it hit the ground. That'd be bad news if you left that out, because this bolt won't breathe right. I think, or it's quite possible it's not. It's just bad news if you lose that. So make sure you get that guy back in there. You can't see any of this stuff because all of it's like right on top of it is that damn ABS thing. So just do your best to get it all back together how it came apart. Alright, here's that dirty bastard up underneath here. I'm able to get on it. Let's see if you can see that. I'm able to get on it with a 17, but only for about 1/8 of a turn each time, so anyway, I'm going to work on that for a bit, get it tightened back down, you should be good. Alright, I'm about 3.5 hours in. I got the filter changed and I've got the transmission cooler installed. I'm ready to swap out these pressure switches. So if you're looking at the tire right here, and I've taken off one panel in here, which is kind of the mud guard sort of splash inner fender well panel. Takes about 4 or 5 clips. It's not that big of a deal. So I can see at least the number 4 sensor right here. I'm just going to knock it loose with my crescent wrench because I don't have the right size. Here we go. And pop the connector loose and hand screw it out. Hopefully, carefully pull my drift pan over so I don't make a mess off the driveway. Oops, there it goes. Alright, I didn't lose any fluid, but I didn't lose any, I've already drained the transmission, so that's probably why. My kit came with a new set of washers, so I'm going to go ahead and put the washer on as well. You can get these for a couple bucks from Honda. I don't really think you need to replace them, but since my sensors came with them already, I'll go ahead and do it. So I'll just thread that guy right in. They're color-coded to match, although they're both 27 psi, so I can't say I really understand why they're different sensors, but there's probably some sort of difference in there, subtly. So the other one, I believe, is behind this plastic little cover here with another connector. So I'm going to pull this connector. Looks like the reverse switch, or maybe, come on, neutral safety switch or something to that effect. So knock it loose just in case. Throw a 10mm on there. Pull those off. This guy should come loose. Come on. Need to be the same bolts as on the filter housing, which is good to know in case you lose one of those. This will be 3rd gear. Make it loose and pull it out of the way. I lost a little bit of fluid, just a few drops. There it is. Of course, I'll go ahead and install this guy the same way I took him out. Just thread him on in, and I'll snug it down after that, button everything back up, hook the connector up, and I think we're done with this part. Alright, that's it. Job's done. Alright, I'm putting the transmission fluid back in. I've got 2 quarts in already. Little tip, I'm surprised how many car guys don't really know this trick, but if you pour this way, it doesn't glug 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 very much. So instead of pouring it, the other normal way that you would think it would go. So it works well with the big jugs too. Just pours nice and smooth. Alright, I got probably 4, maybe 4.5 hours into this or so, plus or minus. I haven't really been in a hurry, but I finally got it filled back up. I went ahead and did an oil change while I was at it, new filter, all that good stuff, because it needed it. So everything seems good, and I'm going to put it down, go ahead and drive it around a little bit after a tiny bit more fluid, and see if it shifts decently, and then hopefully do a longer run here soon enough and see if it fixes it. So far so good. Of course the problems usually only happened on like hour-long plus trips, so I think we're about good, but we'll see how it goes.